So this is an important video. I have some big concern. Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, I've labelled this up, Don't Get Wrecked. And I have some big concerns that many people are going to get absolutely annihilated in the coming weeks, potentially months. Now, I've started to kind of see a lot of, sentiment around positivity, and it's up from here, and lots of charts being shared, lots of nonsense being spoken about. And I really want to sort of go through my thoughts, my opinions on what we should expect over the coming weeks and months. So it's an important video. So, look, for me, I need to be clear, I'm not a financial advisor. We should treat this as educational purposes only. And nobody has a crystal ball, right? We want to be clear on this, right? But what I would say is we have been very accurate in our, forecast of what to expect. I called the bottom in June. June bottom came in, and I said it didn't feel like the bottom. I then got, ridiculed by a few other influencers, with 7 indicators that, indicate the bottom is in June. And I said that those were going to be invalidated. And we're sat here now. All of that has come to fruition. We started this channel talking about, everything being tokenized. BlackRock are now talking about everything's going to be tokenized. We have been accurate in what we've been forecasting. And what I forecast is for the prices to pull back significantly. And I want to go through why this is. I want to go through what's actually being pushed out in the media. And I think that there's a lot of, misinformation being spread that is encouraging people to build up pockets of liquidity for the wealthy to get out of their positions and then buy lower. Ultimately, retail gets screwed in this scenario, and I want to prevent this from being something that comes to fruition and support as many people as possible. Look, could I be wrong? Absolutely, I could be wrong, but I could be absolutely bang on with this. But let's go through all of the articles, all of the news, have a look at the gold, Bitcoin, stocks, all this stuff. And see where your thoughts and your mindset is afterwards. Do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I'm really interested to read through your comments and see what your thoughts and opinions are. Let's get down to the desktop. Let's have a look at all of this stuff. So we're going to start here, right? Now, I'm expecting a volatile day today, kind of goes without saying with some of the events that are scheduled in today. Now, what I would say is the market is up 1.32% at the time of recording. This is at 10:43 a.m. UK GMT. Its market cap for all of crypto is at $819.48 billion. Bitcoin is at 16,843.60, up 1.10% in the last 7 days, and Ethereum's at 1,249.03, up 4.42% in the last 7 days. So that's kind of the market, right? If we have a look at some of the articles, and this for me paints a very misleading picture, and this is the stuff that a lot of retail investors are going to be reading, right? And a lot of the media outlets are owned by the super wealthy, right? So we need to be taking a lot of what we read with a pinch of salt. Now, some of it will be accurate and some of it will just be very misleading. But what we've got here is Bitcoin volatility may return in catch up with gold in 2023. Both stocks and gold are leading the way when it comes to New Year gains, but can Bitcoin match them? Now, what I would say is gold, or metals generally, and stocks have not outperformed cryptocurrency. So we need to be sort of fully aware of this stuff, and realize that just because some movements happened in a short period of time does not mean that it's going to outperform cryptocurrency. It hasn't to date, and I don't believe that it's going to either. But look, what I would say is gold and stocks, I guess all sort of encompass in the same scenario that crypto is in at the moment, in the respect that it's all going through like a recession like landscape, and stocks have been hit. Just look at Tesla and how Tesla's been hit hard, as well as many other stocks. And don't get me wrong, a lot of that is probably to do with Elon and the scenario with Twitter and all that sort of stuff. So be mindful of that. But what they're saying here is Bitcoin has not been as volatile, um, as it has been historically, and you can see this over the last 3 months. It's really been going through like somewhat of a I guess consolidation sort of phase. But there is an attempt by media and influencers as well to basically say that the bottom is in again, and it's almost like people are getting very comfortable with exchanges. People are getting very comfortable that we're close to the bottom, and I do believe we are close to the bottom. But there are lots of pockets of people suggesting that the bottom is now in already, and I really don't believe that that is the case. Look, gold, silver, I guess lifted by safe haven demand, and we see this right in times of like recessions. A lot of people do go to gold and to metals because historically that has been the safe haven, right? So just be aware of these things. Now, charts like this for me are they're interesting to a degree, but they do paint a picture that the bottom is in again. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's pretty convincing. Over a 5.5 year sort of period, or 6 year period, we are seeing this line get hit, and just ignore the wicks in 2020. We just ignore those. But historically it's hit this line, and it's gone up. But historically we weren't in the scenario that we're in now. So I do expect this to be invalidated, and then just never spoken about ever again. So look, these things are being positioned by influencers, and I don't think it's deliberate, right? You look at this chart, it is pretty convincing, right? And if you don't understand economics, you're going to get caught out. And there's a lot of people that don't understand economics. There's a lot of people that don't understand market cycles. There's a lot of people that don't understand the level of corruption that there is. We'll come on to all of this stuff in a moment. It's really interesting to see people, I guess, like blue sky world, wouldn't this be ideal? Everybody would be a millionaire because you would just wait for this to hit this line, and everybody would buy. I mean, everybody would be rich. It's just not going to be how it sort of comes to fruition, in my opinion. But do let me know your thoughts and opinions. Do you believe that this trend line, a strong trend line like this, is going to withstand, what the Fed are likely to do, and the inflation and the war and everything that's happening in the world, the property crisis in China that seems to have all just been hush hush, and swept under the carpet? Is all of this stuff happening in 2022, 2023? Is this trend line going to be able to withstand? I'm going to say no. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. We have articles like this: dollar jumps, euro dips before Fed minutes. And again, it's trying to explain to I guess the retail investors that things are easing up, things are getting better, things are improving. And let's just be really, quite frank. This is the calm before the storm. Like, in my opinion, we haven't seen the inflation to the levels that we're expecting. I'm expecting this to be far, far worse. Now, all of this is really, really negative on my part, and I apologize about that, but I'm always going to tell you how I see it. I do expect lower prices for cryptocurrency. I really do. And I believe this wholeheartedly, and I'm trying to support as many people as I can. And we were one of very few channels that were saying in June, bearing in mind we called June bottom, saying we were very few people, like very few people were saying that actually we believe that that isn't the bottom. Like, we were part of a minority. I am definitely, and Nick is part of a minority again, in my opinion, that we expect lower prices. But you do you, I'll do me. But I'm always going to put out the information as I see it, and I just think that this is the calm before the storm. we go here and we have a look. BlackRock says get ready for a recession unlike any other, and what worked in the past won't work now. And these are things that I think we should be reading. There's certain things that we should be reading. There's certain things that we should take with a pinch of salt. But I think when BlackRock speaks, we should probably listen. We got 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 as well. He's also saying that the US likely to be in recession by any definition, and we haven't seen the last peak in this cycle. So look, we've got some very prominent and well skilled individuals talking about the fact that we're not over the worst of it yet. Now, I have openly said in 4 months or so, I believe that the bottom for crypto will be in. And I agree with a lot of stuff that is being said by BlackRock and a lot of stuff that's being said by Michael here, right? We seem to forget that, I guess, Genesis situation has gone all quiet. Now, I expect that there is a really big problem, and I called a few weeks back that I had concerns how quiet it had gone, and the fact that Gemini CEOs or owners had come out and said that it's all looking good and they're looking to open withdrawals again and all this sort of BS. And I called BS when this was being said, and we now get articles like this. They accuse 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 of bad faith stalling tactics over frozen funds. So in an open letter, Gemini president accuses digital currency group CEO of engaging in bad faith stalling tactics. And this is because they needed to basically, get a huge amount of investment over the line. And I don't think that is actually something that they're going to be able to do. Gemini is attempting to recoup $900 million of client funds, which it lent to digital currency group Genesis to generate yields for its interest-bearing Gemini Earn account. So after the FTX filing for bankruptcy, Gemini paused redemptions for Gemini Earn, as Genesis Global Capital also suspended new loan and redemptions, right? So look, this stuff isn't going away. Everybody seems to have gone dead quiet on it and seems to be forgetting about it. And Grayscale is also caught up in all of this as well. And they are probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Bitcoin holder. So I expect that this is likely to be what causes the next sort of downward motion. And all this positivity at the moment that is being pushed in, I guess, the crypto arena, crypto arena. We're going to label it up, crypto arena. Your crypto Twitter, your crypto YouTube, and all the other crypto social media platforms are all talking that none of this is a problem and we're through the worst of it. I really think there's just to build up a pocket of liquidity so people can get out. We also talk about regulation. I see a lot of people talking about regulation and how regulation is going to change everything. And I think that, regulation is going to be a real positive thing for cryptocurrency. I think it will bring in the real big money, the institutional level investment, the hedge funds, the family offices, on a scale that we were hoping for in 2021. I think that we will see that full scale once we have regulation. But what it doesn't change is the bad actors in the space. Here's an example. You've got FTX and everything that's going on there. But Wells Fargo, who are regulated, I might add, having to pay a $3.7 billion fine, I'm led to believe. And this is for mismanaging customer funds. Now, you're not really hearing anything about this in the media. And this, for me, is something that needs to be talked about because, crypto is getting a real hard time and is being sort of looked at as like a Ponzi scheme and I guess talked about like that. And lots of, negative regulation might come towards crypto. But this isn't a crypto problem. This is a people problem. And for me, more needs to be done by the regulators. It's all well and good, the SEC saying, we're here, this is our mission statement, is to protect investors. But, ultimately, they're not protecting investors at all. You look at BlockFi, for example, they have a fine that they had to pay. And obviously, they're bankrupt now. And the SEC will receive their fine money before, as part of the bankruptcy, before retail investors receive any money. So does that seem like they're, like this is a fair playing field? Again, under their mission statement is to make sure that it's a level playing field, right? Is it also treating retail investors, I guess treating them fairly, but is it keeping them safe? Is it, the retail investors' best interest that they've got at heart? Or is it all just about money and corruption? Because, I'm just going to put it out there. They should be writing off that debt. They should not, in my opinion, be trying to recoup a fine and leaving retail investors out of pocket. That doesn't seem like it's aligned to their mission statement. So, look, we can talk about regulation and what it's going to do for crypto. And I think there is an element of real positivity when it comes to what regulation is going to do for cryptocurrency. But I'm also going to point out that the corruption is not going to go away. We see it with the banks. In the last 5 weeks, I've seen 6 banks fined by regulators for, money laundering reasoning, right? And that's in 5 weeks. There's probably way more. That's just me just scanning the internet just briefly. I found 6. Now, what I would say is they're regulated and the bad behavior is still there. For me, the punishments aren't severe enough. For me, the SEC should be looking in the mirror and asking, are they really, sticking and aligning with their mission statement, or are they failing epically? For me, they are failing epically, and ultimately, I don't believe that they're aligned to their mission statements. They should take a long, hard look in the mirror, and they should ask themselves, do they think they're doing the best that they can in their roles? And if not, I think they should resign, and I think we should get, more adequately skilled people to actually do what they're supposed to do in the actual regulation field. That's my thoughts, my opinions. Do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I'm sick to death of seeing hacks. I'm sick to death of seeing, I guess regulation through enforcement and all this BS, because it's just BS. It's money grabbing, and ultimately it's not changing a damn thing. Moving on, we've got BlackRock gives bankrupt Bitcoin miner core significant new $17 million loan. Now, what I am going to say is this is, for me, a real positive. It shows that BlackRock has a real interest in cryptocurrency. And I kind of wanted to end the video on more of a positive note because it's been a rather negative video. But I kind of feel like I need to air this stuff. I kind of feel that, this BlackRock being positive for cryptocurrency, for me, is a big sign of what's to come in the future. It's the next iteration of technology for payments. It's the next iteration of the internet and much, much more communication. The list goes on and on. And for that very reason, I think that cryptocurrency is going to be a big success. And I think people that are here now that have got through the worst of it and will continue to get through what is going to be far worse, in my opinion, those individuals will come out and they will be very, very wealthy, in my opinion. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. It's just my opinion. It's just how I see the lay of the land. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. It's fine to have a different view and opinion to myself. I've aired how I view the market. I feel better for doing it. And ultimately, you can go away and make your own decisions, by looking at the details that's been shared. Perhaps finding more information, doing your own research and finding out whether my way of thinking resonates with you or it doesn't. And you can make your own investment decisions off the basis of your own research. But, I always like to kind of put my thoughts and opinions out there. And I'm super eager to see your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, why not mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.